Welcome into another episode of Havlicek Stole the Pod. I'm Justin Quinn here as per usual with Daniel Donatelli. Today we have a guest, technically my boss, Ky Carlin, Sixers Wire, NBA Wires. How's it going?
What's going on, Justin, Daniel? How are you guys doing, man?
Pretty good.
For sure.
Pretty good. It's a nice fall day in New England. Basketball's almost here. Real basketball.
Yeah, thank God. I can't do no more preseason hoops. I can't do it. I need the real thing. I feel like I'm being teased right now for sure.
Yeah, we were celebrating because the Toronto Raptors played their B squad for most of the game last night. So that's about where we're at as well. This episode, we're going to talk about a certain coaching / media game that has been making the rounds. Some cuts, some signings, some preseason play, since we are on the topic. But mostly what's going to be happening when the Celtics take on the 76ers and the first couple of weeks of basketball of the regular season, real basketball. So let's talk about that coaches game real briefly. Daniel, you were at it. What was the deal?
I actually wasn't at the game. I unfortunately missed it. But I did get the firsthand scoop from all of the reporter guys I know because they were there. They love to hoop. And I heard news about it, and I was like, oh, man, I'm not going to be there. And then I saw the final score of the game, and I was like, I don't know if I really would have helped that at all. Maybe it would have been like 57-6 instead. But that was a tough final score. But, yeah, we could say more on that later. But it looked like a fun time at least.
Well, we also heard about why Al Horford left the Boston Celtics. Not that it was that big of a surprise. It's kind of the biggest open secret in the NBA. More money, bigger opportunity. Do we believe him? Ky, what do you think? Is that really why Al Horford? These things, you have some expertise on Al Horford leaving the Celtics and coming to a team you cover. So, do you believe him?
Yeah, I mean, look, obviously, I covered Al for a year. And honestly, I kind of do believe him. I mean, look, if he thinks that he's probably at the end of his career, obviously, he's got maybe 1-2 years tops left. I mean, come on, like he's not the same Al Horford. Probably wants to try to win one more championship. Let him play with the best shooter the game has ever seen. Let him see if he can calm down Jimmy and everything going on out there. Probably wants to win one final championship. Good for him. Yeah, go out and try to win one. Man, I don't think it should be that deep for Celtics fans. I've seen a lot of Celtics fans complaining on social media, kind of calling him out. I don't think it's that deep. It's like he's old man Al at this point. You know what I mean? Good guy, really good dude. But like, just let him win a title and let it be.
Absolutely. One guy who will not be winning a title with the Celtics, at least, and maybe not with anyone anytime soon, considering where he's at in his career, is R.J. Lewis Jr., who was just cut by the Celtics this week. In his place, the Celtics brought on Ron Harper Jr. Daniel, was this the right call by Boston, in your opinion?
Yeah, I agree with the move. Ron Harper Jr. has spent multiple training camps here now. He's definitely worked for this. And it's good to see him earn that opportunity. And that's not to say R.J. Lewis Jr. couldn't have played in that role either. I mean, either way, they're two guys who probably aren't going to play much for the Celtics this season. But R.J. still got opportunity elsewhere. I mean, he was the Big East Player of the Year, so I think that goes a little further than some people might think. So hopefully he gets scooped up by somebody. I mean, these training camp deals happen quickly and all the different G League deals too, so maybe it'll happen for him.
So I also want to point out too that Ron Harper has been playing pretty well. He's definitely earning that spot. He's scoring like about double all the other fringy camp invite guys were scoring per game in preseason action. He's got size. He's 6'6", like 240 something pounds. He's a real big chunker. Of a guy who's going to be hard to move around. And I think he has a future in the NBA, so I am actually a big fan of this move. Earlier in the week, Joe denied that Hugo Gonzalez had problems with English and seemed pretty pissed off at the media in general lately, particularly that exchange with Jack Simone during the Cavs preseason game. Daniel, I was wondering, since you weren't there for that particular exchange, if I remember correctly, but you were there the game after. Could you tell me, like, what's the vibe with Mazzulla and the media right now? Like there's like some assumptions that he is like messing with the media, at war with the media, and that doesn't seem to be the case for me. Like, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so ironically, John Corrales, the first question of yesterday's pregame, he asked the same exact question Jack Simone asked Joe, and Joe gave like a legitimate, real, like thought out answer. So I think in that moment, Joe might have been playing around a little. He does like to joke with us, and I mean, some people might take it as like, I don't know, they might take it the wrong way. But if you think about it, when you're like working with people and you actually have like a real rapport, you're like kind of making fun of each other and stuff like that. It's not all strictly business. And as for more info about the pregame presser, that was pretty interesting actually. Joe lowered the table. So the stage of where they speak has always been like above us. But Joe specifically lowered it yesterday to be on equal ground from us. And I heard from Celtics PR that he chose to do that. Like, that wasn't just like, oh, some like person behind the scenes shuffling chairs. He actually chose that. And he explained it a little, saying like that since some of the media members had gone in the arena against him and other coaches in that scrimmage we talked about before, he wanted to put us more on even ground and kind of like resetting the relationship in a way and like making it more equal. But yeah, like you said, Justin, I think some people are taking a little out of context that it's very adversarial when I don't think that's really the case.
Well, I think we can put that behind us along with preseason. But before we do, let's take a quick look at what the Boston Celtics did in preseason. They lost to Toronto to start things off on, you can't really call it a bad note exactly, because, I mean, you're not necessarily supposed to be trying to win these games. I mean, you are. It's not the end-all, be-all. It's like more like seeing and combinations and all that fun stuff. Chris Boucher had a great revenge game. We've talked about that a bit. Anthony Simons has been looking pretty neutral on defense. Ky, do you think there's any chance at all that the Celtics can get Anthony to defend and maybe make a solid investment in that trade they made for him?
I mean, I personally think so. I'm a big, I like my flag is planted on Anthony Simons Island. It's always kind of been there. I'm a really big proponent of what he can do. I mean, the guy can score in bunches, which is what you're going to need with Tatum out. And I know he's coming off the bench for Boston, but he's a guy who just immediately comes in the game, makes an impact right away. Obviously, you mentioned the defense isn't great. I think that's putting it nicely. But I do believe playing for a guy like Joe, as competitive as he is, I saw those clips, Daniel. The man dove on the floor for loose balls in a pickup game with a lot of people who were out of shape. Like, I think that was the most crazy thing to me. The guy's a psychopath, and the guy is a competitor, and I think he's gonna bring that out of Anthony a little bit. I don't know why Chauncey Billups wasn't able to out in Portland. But I do believe Mazzulla definitely has the tools, especially, I mean, listen, he's got the ultimate tool, right? He's got a championship ring to kind of show Anthony. So I believe, yeah. I mean, if there's anybody in this league that's going to be able to coax something out of him with the defensive end of the floor, I think Mazzulla is definitely a guy you got to look at.
Definitely. He's been neutral on defense, which for him I think is an accomplishment so far in preseason play. But he's been better recently, other than I think he had like 6 turnovers in last night's win versus the Raptors. But there's been a couple other guys. Well, let's just cover the games. They beat the Cavs 138-107, then came back and beat Toronto 110-108. So they evened up the series 2-2. Little concerning that Jaylen Brown tweaked. We think he felt something in his hamstring.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel, what was going on with that? You were there.
Yeah, so I was down low for this so I could have a better view of it. I saw Jaylen kind of reach back, like left leg-ish, kind of hold it a bit. He didn't look great coming to the bench, and then the trainer quickly came over to talk to him. Then another one came over. Then he kind of went in the locker room. That didn't look great. But he was listed as doubtful, I will say, by Celtics PR. obviously they're not going to risk him coming back in a preseason game. Like they do not have anything to play for there. But maybe it's a good sign that he's doubtful. And after the game, Joe Mazzulla said that Jalen told him he'll be fine. But I don't think we should completely discount this injury yet. Like, we still don't know that much. And I don't know, hamstring could be serious business. And Joe does like to keep his cards close when it comes to injuries, so he usually doesn't share that much about it. But I think we'll maybe learn a little more at practice tomorrow. But, if anything serious happened there, that is pretty much worst case scenario for the Celtics.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
I was actually going to say that probably opens up the door for the Sixers on opening night, especially if you consider the fact.
I'm going to say put a pin in that, yeah.
No, for sure. I mean, listen, talking to Nick Nurse pretty much all week at practice, there does sound some optimism that Joel Embiid will be available opening night on Wednesday at TD Garden. Paul George, not so much. I know today at practice, which was today, October 16th, Nurse said, "Listen, Paul George is doing more 5-on-5 live stuff. He's not gonna be ready." So you can scratch out George. But if the big fella's out there, and if he looks anything close to what he can't, we all know he can do. And with the Celtics, obviously without Jason Tatum already, and if they're going to be without Jaylen Brown, and they're going to have to roll out a starting lineup of like Pritchard, White, Boucher, Keita, and whoever Mazzulla decides to start in Brown's place, yeah, this opens the door for Philadelphia to kind of get off to a good start here, especially because they play the Hornets in the home opener, the following the Celtics. So you have a chance to go 2-0 before facing a really tough opponent in the Orlando Magic for your third game. So, that's definitely a big deal, not just for the Celtics, but for the Sixers as well.
So let's talk about those bigs for a second, since that's one of the big things, pun I guess intended, swirling around this matchup between the two teams and the Celtics more generally this season. Keto was not good for the first three preseason games. Daniel, what was the difference in this fourth game versus the Cavs, in your opinion?
Against the Raptors, I'm not too sure what the
Raptors. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, you're good. I think Joe was definitely trusting him a bit in this game to go out there because he could have put in some of the more A-list guys later in the tight game, but he didn't. Keita looked good on both ends. I mean, what bigger test for him on October 22nd than Joel Embiid probably coming out the gate against him. And I mean, we know he's had some issues with fouling, and we know Embiid likes to take advantage of that, so that could be a problem. But I know we'll get more into that later. But yeah, I think Keita's energy was looking better yesterday. But you could say that for most of the Celtics. Like, I liked Josh Minott a lot yesterday. I think he was great. And, of course, I mean, Xavier Tillman was awesome, especially with that last floater to win the game and stop a preseason game from going to OT, which selfishly I like.
Yeah, I think we all do.
I was just about to say that nobody wants overtime in the preseason. When Tillman hit that shot, I was like, I feel so happy for the Boston and maybe the Toronto media, too, that made the trip. That's a lot.
Yeah, there's been a burgeoning movement in the media to advocate for just letting it end in a tie, and why not? What's going to change?
For preseason, yeah, because dude, who cares? It's the
literally
preseason. Obviously, if there was regular season, I mean, hell, keep playing till you get a winner. But preseason,
exactly.
No.
Yeah. The Tillman situation, I think, is really heartening. I'm still kind of skeptical that his knees are going to hold up for the whole season. But if they can get anything out of him this season, I think that's going to be a huge boost for them. I'm really looking forward to seeing how Nimi does against Embiid if he plays. Because, I mean, if we turn back the clock to, I think it was in the bubble series, or maybe it was even in the regular season, there was that game where Rob Williams played Embiid for the first time, and it was just every play he fouled him until he had to sit after 4 straight fouls, and I think it was the first quarter. It was just, I'm hoping we don't see that, but I kind of think we're going to if he plays.
Yeah. No, you definitely are, because I know exactly what you're talking about. I remember those games. Robert Williams couldn't do anything against Joe. Honestly, I mean, listen, Philadelphia fans need something to feel good about, especially with the Phillies getting eliminated by the Dodgers, and then the Eagles losing to the Broncos, and then subsequently losing to the Giants of all teams.
That was bad.
So yeah, Philadelphia fans need something. So I mean, listen, if Joe goes out there and does anything, even if the Sixers lose the game, if Joe looks anything like his usual self, I think that's a win for the city of brotherly love.
Yeah, and there's the whole payback factor. This is their year if they're going to get it in against Boston to really, lay a shellacking on them for past transgressions from their perspective. What do you think about Chris Boucher with the Celtics, Ky, as an outsider perspective?
I mean, Boucher is the ultimate Sixers killer. I mean, have you seen his 3-point percentage against the Sixers for his career?
That's good to know. That's very good to know.
It's like damn near 60%. Like it's kind of insane. The guy just like loves playing against the Sixers when he's like a career like 30% shooter from three, but he turns into the second coming of Steph Curry whenever he plays against the Sixers. It's the funniest thing to me. That percentage has kind of evened out a little bit finally, recently. But I mean, obviously, Boucher played for Nick Nurse up in Toronto, and then obviously the last 2 years with Darko Rajakovic, but. I remember going to Toronto in the 2022 playoffs, and as soon as Nurse put Boucher in the game, I mean, he threw in like 4 straight threes. The guy just like loves playing against the Sixers. I don't know what it is. So you have that on your side, but overall, I mean, listen, he's athletic, he's bouncy, he's got a high IQ. I think he understands how to play the game. I don't think. Long term, he's a starter. And I think that's something, obviously, they're going to have to kind of figure out. He's a rotation player, and he's a good player. Starting-wise, no. Especially if the Celtics if they do get to the play-in, which I think they do at least. I think that team at least gets to the play-in or playoffs, whatever. Like, you have to come up with some type of different alternative at the power forward spot for sure. Even the center
definitely
spot. I don't know how high you guys are on Kata, but me, I'm like, I still am a little skeptical about that too.
I see the potential, and sometimes he shows it, but the consistency is the thing. And forget about high leverage stuff. I'm just talking regular season. We just got to cross that bridge first at this point. Luka Garza, do you think he has any future in this league, Ky?
Luka Garza is the GOAT. Luka Garza is the GOAT.
Why is he the GOAT?
The college basketball
he is. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. The college basketball goes. Listen, Garza. I think.
You think the Celtics win the NCAA tournament? Wait, no,
yeah, I think they win. I think they win the NCAA tournament. I think my issue with Garza is I think he's a little too slow defensively, and then just like I feel like again that's going to kind of cost him. Like even when the Sixers go to the bench, I'm just talking about opening night. I mean, when Sixers go to Adem Bona, and Bona is just kind of running around doing Bona type things and just like. Bona plays like he just got shot out of one of those T-shirt cannons that they shoot during the timeouts. Everything like that's how Bona plays, just boom. So I think that's going to cause some problems for the Celtics as well on opening night.
Daniel, what do you think about Hugo Gonzalez and Josh Minott playing minutes with the parent club with Boston this season? Is this realistic, or are they not really ready yet, in your opinion?
I feel like Josh Minott should. I mean, this was a strong preseason from him, and his energy is great. Like, I get why they call him the lawnmower. He was crashing the glass, finishing alley-oops. His energy on defense was good, pretty active hands. I liked what I saw from Ugo too, but I don't think he's quite as NBA ready. He was knocking down some threes yesterday, which was good to see. But I think a few times when he was trying to drive to the paint, players were collapsing on him pretty easily, tying him up. But he could use some time in the G League, and I think he could benefit from it. But I still think he's got some upside. I think Josh Minott could be elevated a little sooner than we might think. I mean, injuries play a factor in that, but also his size and just how he played in the preseason and training camp, I think he could deserve more of a role.
So there's a couple of guys on the fringe. I don't know if either of y'all have been paying attention to the likes of Baylor Shireman, Jordan Walsh, and then the two-way guys, Amari Williams, Max Shulga. We won't give them any guff. They just got here. They're just trying to find their sea legs. But are we worried about Baylor Shireman at this point?
I like Shireman.
I do too, but he can't seem to do what he was brought on to do, which is shoot the three.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's definitely struggling with that 3-point shot. However, I mean, a couple times I've been able to kind of get up, see him up close and personal. I like what he brings to the table. But like, yeah, to your point, he has struggled with his 3-point shot. But I like Shireman. I do.
Yeah, I believe in Baylor more. What troubles me is Jordan Walsh a bit. Like, he wasn't that great yesterday. He just hasn't really excelled in the preseason. Yeah, okay, it's preseason, so maybe can't over.
I mean, he was hurt for almost all of it. Like, what is he supposed to do? Play on I think it was a adductor tightness or something like that?
Yeah, that's true, but I don't know.
Really bad time to get injured, though, considering,
Yeah, because this is the biggest year of his career, undoubtedly. I mean, him, Keita, Garza, too. You could say it's a lot, that for a lot of the Celtics. But I think Jordan Walsh is a guy the Celtics kind of need to be good this year. And I don't know if that's necessarily going to happen. We'll see, but his 3-point shot still isn't super reliable. Baylor at least had that good spurt last year, where maybe I have a little more faith in him. Yeah, he was pretty bad this preseason, I will say. But hopefully he kind of snaps out of that shooting funk. But yeah, the Celtics need those guys to be good this year more than ever before. Like last year, this wouldn't have been really an issue because they had such a talented roster, but can't rely on that this year.
Well, the only other players we haven't spoken about really is RJ Lewis a little bit, but Jalen Bridges and Kendall Brown, who will probably be playing for other teams. Should the Celtics consider any of these guys for Maine if they'd be up for that?
I forget if I think did Kendall Brown get cut? I thought Mike Scotto might have dropped the tweet.
I didn't catch that, but whatever's happening with him, he's not getting signed to the Celtics at this point. I think Harper.
Yeah, I don't think.
Slot.
Yeah, okay. Kendall Brown, Jalen Bridges, Wendell Moore all got waived.
I think. Yeah. Okay. So yeah.
But
do you think they're worth bringing on the Maine or no?
I don't know. Maybe the first name you said, maybe him.
Jalen Bridges.
Yeah, but
he's got NBA experience.
Yeah, I'm not too sold on any of those guys. I think it's just one of those blip on the radar kind of news. But hey, the Celtics are kind of throwing stuff at the wall this season because they're down some guys and they're going to need somebody to step up.
And on the 22nd, they definitely will, particularly if Mr. Brown is not back in the fold with whatever's going on with that leg. So let's dive into the closer look at the start to the season that's coming up very, very soon. But before we do that, we do this thing here where our guest steals the pod, and this week it's going to be Ky's turn to steal the pod. So where are we going, Ky?
Listen, I'm going back to that coaches versus the media basketball game because I think Joe Mazzulla might have started some type of trend. We talked about it in the Philadelphia media room at practice yesterday and today at length.
Really?
First of all, my man Tony Jones from the Athletic is disappointed in Jay King. He said Jay King definitely should have put up a much better performance than he did. And then obviously all of us are a little older and a little bigger than we were during our prime, all of us. So, but we're hoping that like if the Sixers were to do this with us, and we threw it around with Nick Nurse a couple of times, and Nick Nurse kind of laughed it off a little bit. But I think we can at least crack 10 points. we're
get it across half court. Yeah.
Yeah. Look, listen, we're gonna get destroyed too. Like it won't even be close. Like we have no shot. We're all again old and out of shape. But I mean, yeah, I think we can at least crack 10. I personally think myself I could get at least 6 points. I feel like I could.
Also, like Scal needs to be. He was talking about wanting to be on the team during the broadcast. He needs to be on the next version of this if there's going to be one. Because
him and Eddie House, we would need them.
And then on our end, like, listen, we're going to need Mark Jackson, and we're going to need Ala Abdelnaby to come down and got to call in some ringers there a little bit for sure.
Real.
Yeah,
then we'll have a game.
Right.
What are you
I'll
going to say?
stand up for my colleagues a bit. Like, the Celtics staff is pretty loaded. I mean, they got Emil Jefferson, who went to Duke.
Which isn't fair, by the way.
Yeah, I think he was on the All-ACC team or something. I mean, he played with
Yes.
Tatum. He's so good. Shamgod Jr. was draining threes. They got Phil Pressey.
His dad has a basketball move named after him.
Yeah, Phil Pressey was
just
literally
like-
on the Celtics. Like, I don't know what they're supposed to do about that. And I think
No, it is crazy. We were talking about that too because Phil Pressey played for the Sixers, like I think 9 years ago.
Yep.
So I mean, like literally within
was
the last
wild.
10 years, this guy has played in the league. So like, yeah, like what are you supposed to do? It's
Yeah.
definitely. And this is no shade to you guys. I promise you, it's no shade. But like,
I wasn't there, so that job wasn't on me.
Hey, look! Listen, I'm obviously gonna be there on Wednesday to see y'all. I can't wait to talk trash to Noah. I might say something. I might say something to Jay King.
Joe took a shot at Jay King in the post game. He mentioned Jay having a bad game, like in the middle of his answer to a random question. Not even Jay's question.
Love it.
Like he's definitely going after us a bit. But like I was saying before, it's more of a camaraderie thing than anything.
No, I agree. I mean, obviously, I'm not in the room with you guys, and obviously, I wasn't playing the game. I was watching from afar, but like, it definitely didn't seem like Joe was disrespectful in a way. He kind of was just like ribbing you guys a little bit, like, "Oh man, you guys suck," like just kind of messing with y'all. It really didn't seem like crazy.
Yeah, taking it easy on them would have been more disrespectful, I think. Like Noah was saying,
totally.
She's like, I appreciate that they went hard because it would have been a little like disrespectful if they're like taking their foot off the gas a bit.
Yeah, no, for sure. You play hard, man. I respect it.
So let's take a closer look at the first 2 weeks of the season, but particularly opening night. The Celtics play the Sixers twice in that range, bookending games between the Knicks, Detroit, the Pelicans, and Cleveland. So that's a pretty good start for an Eastern Conference team. If there is going to be a murderer's row, if you will, that's about as close as we're going to get, I think, for the East.
Yeah.
These teams, the Celtics and the Sixers, in my mind, they're in the same kind of a tier, if you will, with like a lot of the East, like the Pacers, the Heat. There's just a lot of teams that we just don't know what kind of a team they're going to be. Like, are they going to be a play-in team, a lottery team, a contender in some cases? Like the Sixers, if everything clicked for them, they might be a contender.
Yeah.
How reasonable is this?
See, I think, I mean, look, nothing can be worse than last year, right? I mean, they're not going to go 24-58 again. Again, like barring any type of crazy injuries, you got to believe you're going to get a little bit of better injury luck, like at least just even a little bit. And if you do, I believe the Sixers are probably a 500 basketball team at the moment. Like I'm thinking probably 40-42, 41-41, 43-39, somewhere around that range. That's probably where they're at. Because
so again, 5 seed.
Yeah, I know, right?
The East, yeah.
Look, listen. My flag is planted on Hawks Island. Like I love that Hawks team, but we can get to them later. But like I truly believe, man. Like yeah, when you look up and down Philly's roster, it's probably a 500 team. Joel's not playing in any back-to-backs, right? The Sixers have 16 of them this upcoming season, so you got to take 16 games right off the bat already away from Joe. That's down to 66 games already. Combined with the fact that he's probably going to be held out of this game and that game, it might miss a week because of the knee, and then something's going to flare up. So you're probably looking at about maybe 50 to 55 games with him. And if you can get that, I think that they can be somewhere around 46, 47 wins. However, you never know with him. And it's no disrespect to Joel. I mean, we all know how amazing Joel is. It's just like you never know. You never do. So I think they're probably a 500 team. You still don't know about Paul George either. Like I believe Paul George's obviously best years are behind him. He's 35, and he's coming off yet another surgery. So Sixers are probably about a 500 team for sure. So, but again, they're another team that's tough to predict, Justin. You just kind of alluded to it.
Yeah, health health in particular is the thing, and it's not just for the Sixers. The Celtics have some pretty considerable health things to keep an eye on. We touched on one of them earlier, but like before we look at the Celtics, some of your younger players are also dealing with some health issues. Are they going to be ready for opening night?
Well, Jared McCain won't. I mean, Jared McCain's as obviously, listen, the poor kid is just dealing with yet another injury. Obviously, yeah, he got off to a fantastic start his rookie year last year, and then tore his meniscus, was out for the year after only 23 games. This year, he's dealing with a torn UCL in his right thumb. I feel bad because I went to go clap him up in the locker room last preseason game against Orlando. So I went to go like, "Yo, what up, bro?" And then he went, "Dude," and I was like, "Oh shit." I was like, my bad. There you go. But yeah, no, he won't be ready. I don't think we'll see Jared till about maybe middle of November, maybe the end of November, as he recovers from that surgery. VJ Edgecombe's going to be fine. I mean, look, they held him out of the last preseason game on the 10th against Orlando because of the hip thing. But he's fine and ready to go. He'll play tomorrow in the preseason finale and get ready for Boston then.
So the Celtics don't have too many lingering issues in the same kind of a way because they've got a little bit younger with the moves they made this summer. But Jaylen Brown has increasingly been dealing with all kinds of tendonitis. He's had plenty of hamstring issues in the past. How are y'all looking at this situation in terms of like how the team is going to manage his health going into this season? And like, let's say he does have a pull hamstring, Daniel, what should they do in your opinion?
Oh man, I mean, you got to play it on the safe side, I think, this season. Like, who knows when Tatum's coming back? The way he's talking could happen this season. Obviously, several months from now. But like, if Jaylen Brown has an injury, I do not think they should risk it and like kind of rush him back because, hey, this is probably going to be a down year. And yeah, they need Jaylen Brown to truly compete, but like, if they're not really in the conversation for a championship this year, do you want to risk anything with Jaylen Brown? Like, no, that'd just be a bad idea. And the hamstring's pretty serious. I mean, we'll see what the deal is soon on that. But yeah, if he misses like, I don't know, the first 2 weeks of the season, it's already looking not great for the Celtics. Like you mentioned, Justin, this opening schedule, it's not the easiest. They got some real contenders in there, like the Cavs and Houston. So that would be not great. And I think they just got to be a little safer with their star guys and their foundation. So like Brown, Derek White, Pritchard, Tatum, obviously, might be smart to play it on the safe side.
Also, don't sleep on Detroit either, because Justin, I know you mentioned that the Celtics play the Pistons. Like kind of in that early part.
Yeah.
I mean, like don't sleep on that Detroit team. I know Jaden Ivey's just underwent another procedure. He's going to be out at least a month, probably longer. But I mean,
I think that might help them. Honestly, I think that might provide some clarity to their roster. But that's just me.
Probably. I mean, like obviously the whole Malik Beasley thing, unfortunate for both him and the Pistons. But I mean, look, Duncan Robinson, as you guys know, you faced the Heat how many times in the playoffs the last couple of years? Like Duncan Robinson can shoot the hell out of the ball.
Hey, New Hampshire
Duncan
native,
Robinson,
shout out.
Yeah, listen, he can shoot the hell out of the ball. We all know that. And Karis LeVert brings playmaking, scoring, and also ball handling from the 2-guard spot. So I think they're going to be okay. They kind of hold things down until Ivy returns. And obviously, we know how great Cade is. I mean, Cade Cunningham, obviously was terrific last year. He had some good moments against the Celtics too.
Yeah, we could talk about what we think the record is going to be before we get out of here. But I think the Celtics are going to be more competitive than a lot of national media, at least until recently, has been thinking. But I also think Celtics fans are going to be surprised with the shock of the difference. Like games they used to sleepwalk through, I think are going to be struggles every night now. And I don't know how y'all feel about that, but I'm kind of here for it. It's just a little more interesting in the regular season, at least, if not the postseason. We can worry about that when we get there. There is a youth movement, shall we say, also going on in Philadelphia, but a different kind of youth movement. I'm really curious how you're seeing these new parts moving together, particularly with the whole Quickly situation being what it is.
It really is such a weird kind of situation at the moment because it's like they're kind of operating on two timelines in a way. Like they're operating on the win now. They're operating on the win now timeline, which is what you have with Joel and Paul and Kelly Oubre and those guys and trying to win now. But then you got this young, really exciting rookie VJ Edgecombe who is really turning some heads with his basketball IQ and him kind of understanding things and picking things up rather quickly. But I mean, listen, he's going to be put through the ringer. I mean, opening night against the Celtics in Boston, no matter who's out there for the C's, is going to be a tough, welcome to the NBA type moment for him. And then you got Jared McCain, who is going into his second year, yes, but he's essentially a rookie. He only played 23 games last year. And now he's going to be popping up on people's scouting reports because people saw what he was able to do in the 23 games he played last year. And then you've also got these younger guys like Jabari Walker. You got Dominic Barlow. They're both entering their fourth year. Barlow might start opening night.
He's good.
Don't sleep on that. Dominic Barlow might start for Philadelphia on opening night, depending on how Nick Nurse sees Adem Bona. And obviously, I mean, if Joel plays, I think it'll be Barlow and Joel. If Joe doesn't play, then it's probably going to be Barlow and Bona, which is something Nick Nurse has kind of turned to a little bit. So you have that factor. Bona's only going into his second year. Justin Edwards is going into his second year. So you have to develop these guys. So there's a lot to kind of figure out. Then you brought back Quentin Grimes too. So there's a lot to figure out at the moment.
I said Quickly earlier. I meant Quentin Grimes.
I knew you meant
my shit. Yeah.
I knew that. Yeah.
Yeah. Thoughts on the two top teams in projections in the East, Daniel? Knicks and Cavs. They're playing Boston in the first 2 weeks. What should we expect from them this season? Do you see them as true contenders? Do they have any faults? Like, give me, both of you, but we'll start with you, Daniel, your assessment of those two teams.
Yeah, I think this offseason, the Knicks honestly got better. I like the Jordan Clarkson addition. Yabusele, I mean, Ky, he was good in Philly. I think he's going to be good in New York too. And then they got all their main players back, and they're pretty much healthy. So I think they definitely present a problem for Boston in the second game of the season. And I do think they can be real contenders. The Cavs, I mean, they kind of rolled through the East last year, but they really faltered in the playoffs. I think some injuries had a factor in that, but I think the East should be theirs to win. Like, there's a lot of teams in the East, Celtics, Pacers, maybe the Bucks, that have kind of taken this drop off, and it's opening up the door for the Cavs and Knicks even more. I think the Cavs and Knicks could be a potential Eastern Conference Finals matchup. I guess we'll see. It's obviously early to think about that, but Donovan Mitchell has just been spectacular, especially against the Celtics. Darius Garland, I know he's still dealing with some injury stuff, and that could be an issue for them, but they also still have their main guys. They did lose Ty Jerome. Trying to think of who else they might have brought in. I feel like they didn't get too active in the offseason, but I
Lonzo.
mean, Lonzo. They just had a great season, and they're kind of running it back. I don't blame them. The playoff questions will loom large because they kind of blew it last year. But as we saw, Indy was a great team. Like, seeding aside, I mean, they were minutes away, arguably just an injury away from winning the finals. Like, they gave the Thunder a true run for their money. So I think the Cavs and Knicks are going to be, in the short term, big problems for the Celtics, and then the long term, maybe threats to the whole East this season.
Okay.
I think this conference is New York's to lose. But I'm just gonna put that out there. The Knicks should make the finals this year. They absolutely should, barring injuries, of course. But I mean, as the rosters are presented, that starting five: Brunson, Anunoby, Towns, Bridges, Robinson, Hart, Yabusele, Clarkson, Deuce McBride,
I think I don't know about y'all, but I'm not impressed by the Clarkson part. But yeah, the rest I agree with.
Clarkson to me, and I think it's just a really good addition. Daniel kind of alluded to it. The guy won Sixth Man of the Year in Utah, so I mean, like the guy hops off the bench and he'll put up a bunch of points. So if you're the Knicks, again, like obviously Mike Brown has a reputation for playing his starters a lot, just like Tibbs. But if Mike Brown just goes to the bench even a little bit, I mean, look,
more than Tibbs.
I think this Knicks team is a lot deeper than last year. So I think this conference is New York's to lose. The Knicks should not fall short of the finals. Period. I like the Cavs, but I'm with Daniel that they've come up short in the playoffs every single year. I'm a little higher on the Orlando Magic than maybe a lot of other teams.
Likewise.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I think Desmond Bane's a really good addition, but I do
exactly
believe
what
though.
They needed.
I do believe though one of Franz Wagner, Paulo Banchero is really going to have to improve as a shooter. Like Bane can't be the only one. Bane obviously helps, and whenever Jalen Suggs comes back, I think Suggs will help there too. And Tyus Jones is a really good addition for them too to kind of hold down the ball handling spot. But I mean, I think Wagner, Banchero needs to improve as a shooter. I'm really big over the Atlanta Hawks. Like I said, I'm really big on the Hawks. Like I believe. Like trying to score in the fourth quarter down by 1, and you have to go up against a lineup of Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Onyeka Okongwu, Dyson Daniels, and Jalen Johnson. I mean, like, good luck. Like that. There's a lot.
I noticed who you didn't mention in that lineup.
Listen, I love Trae Young. I really do. Trae Young.
That's not even the guy I was talking about.
Nah, Celtics guy, KP.
Yeah. Oh, KP. Oh, KP. I mean, listen. And I said this the day they traded for him. Whatever the Hawks get out of Porzingis is a bonus. I don't think. I mean, you know that if he's out there, then he's a huge difference maker, as you guys know. You watched him, but I mean, obviously he's just he's always dealing with something. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, he needs the Al Horford / now Joel Embiid treatment, I think, as well this season if he's going to be there for them in the postseason. And you make a move like that, you want him there for the postseason. So hopefully they do that. I'm with you on the Cavs being good, but not quite as good as the Knicks. I think as long as they have Darius Garland on the roster, they're going to basically have a ceiling on how far they can go in the postseason. They can probably get to the East Finals, and that's probably about as far as they're going to get. In my opinion, anyway, but they are well positioned with that Jarrett Allen contract as well to bring on somebody to change things up when they, in my opinion, inevitably fail. What do we think about the Pels? I'm just being honest. You can't. They're going to be a really good team. They're going to win like 50-something games. They're not going to be a bad team, but like if they're going to win the title, you cannot have an open scab of a thing that you can just target repeatedly unless you build a team around that person to defend them, and then they haven't done that, right? So
I hear that. I definitely hear that. So you said the Pels.
Yeah, like they were the worst team. Now they're going to be a great team. Like it's like the schizophrenia about like their identity is clearly tied to what we think about their biggest star of a player and his likelihood of staying healthy this season. I mean, I think he might be able to stay thin, but like, has he done so much damage to his body? I'm speaking about Zion, obviously. Right. Has he done enough damage to his body at this point that he can't make it through a full season, even if he's lighter? I'm not sure.
You know what's crazy? I've only been to New Orleans one time. Sixers opened up against the Pelicans a couple years ago, so I've made the trip down to New Orleans. They just don't care about that team down there. They definitely
Saints,
know
baby.
Yeah, it is all about the New Orleans Saints and LSU for LSU football. But I mean, I will say when the Pelicans are good, which is rare, they show up. But it was a weird atmosphere for an opening night down at the Smoothie King Center.
$6 tickets back in the day before Anthony Davis was playing for them. My favorite city in the States to live in, but definitely not a basketball town.
Absolutely not. Yeah, no, it's definitely like a weird vibe, when I went down there. But they're kind of like the Sixers in a way, though. Like if they can just get a little bit of health, Justin, I mean, then they should be okay. If Zion Williamson is out there and DeJounte Murray can get out there and Trey Murphy and Herb Jones, I know Kevon Looney's already on the shelf, but I mean,
Yeah.
if the Pelicans can get some type of health, it's the same thing. They might be okay.
Yeah, and don't forget about Jordan Poole too. I mean, they got some killers.
I try
against the
really hard
Celtics.
to. It's
Yeah,
not
I was gonna
working.
say, they got some Celtics killers. I mean, they got Jordan Poole. Trey Murphy went off against the Celtics last season. I mean, hey, the two wins Boston had against the Pelicans came down to the wire. Like, they weren't easy. And now the Pelicans probably got better. I mean, they were bad last year, obviously. I don't know if I fully buy into the Zion propaganda a bit. I mean, he's a great player, but I feel like so many off seasons they're like, oh, look at Zion, like he's looking stronger, he's in shape, like this is the year. And then we're like 20 games in and he's missing random games. I don't know if I'm buying into that not happening this year, but I still think, like you said earlier, Justin, these easy games where the Celtics were like, oh, win, like just check that off. They can't do that this year. I don't think this is an automatic win. Obviously, it's on the road, right? Yeah, it's on the road. I don't know. Could be one that might be tougher than some fans think.
So we have 6 games in the first 2 weeks, as we said earlier, bookended by the 76ers. In between, Knicks, Detroit, Pels, Cleveland. Ky, what is your prediction for that stretch?
Probably 3-3. Like because the Celtics are kind of like they give me the same thing as like the Sixers. Like they kind of give off 500 basketball type vibes.
Yeah.
I mean, Jaylen Brown's obviously fantastic, so Brown will will him to a couple of games. But to Daniel's point, man, if Tatum comes back in like late March, early April, and he gets out there for a couple of games before the play-in, playoffs, then all of a sudden you have to worry about the Celtics as like a 7 seed, like pulling off like what the Heat did in 2023. You know, going from play-in to finals type of thing. It'd be really cool.
Daniel?
Yeah, I was thinking similarly. Maybe 3-3, 2-4, perhaps. I mean, the Jaylen Brown thing is a big caveat. Like, if he has any issue there and he isn't able to go for a few games, like those are all probably going to be losses whenever he misses. I think there are 2 games against Philly. I think they can win one. That Knicks game on the road, that's tough. Maybe if Jaylen Brown's playing, they could get a win against Detroit. Maybe a win against the Pelicans. The Cavs, that's pretty hard. I don't know if they can get one there, but yeah, probably 3-3, 2-4, depending on health. No Jaylen Brown, might be 1-5 or something, but hopefully that doesn't come to terms.
Well, I think we are just about done. Got a couple things on the docket before we get out of here. First of all, where we can find our stuff. I mean, if you're listening to this, you can find my stuff wherever you found this, as well as Celtics Wire, where you can also find Daniel. Daniel, you have some other stuff out there?
Yeah, you can find me, Celtics Wire, like you said, Justin, and also Clutch Points. Also, just look up my name, Daniel Donapedian, or at DanielD1214 on Twitter. You'll find me. And I'm on Blue Sky occasionally, too, but mostly Twitter.
Should be the other way around, but we're working on that.
If most of the NBA world wasn't still on Twitter, yeah, but that's mostly still where the business is done.
Yeah,
other stuff on the app aside.
Ky, what about you?
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I have a Blue Sky. I think I created one, and I was on it a lot. And then I kind of realized, like Daniel said, everybody's still on Twitter. So I'm still mostly on there. Like, I barely go on Blue Sky. But yeah, Twitter, Ky_Carlin, and of course, SixersWire.com.
Very cool. The other thing that we do before we end the show is think of something to remember or forget. And in my case, as you can see, I have been forgetting to shave. I'm still kind of trying to get like out of off-season mode where I have time for things and I can go places when I want to. That's all over as of this week. I need to remember to work on better work-life balance, particularly in these like transitional periods, because as you can see, I'm kind of sucking at it. What about you, Dan?
I'm going to remember Malcolm Brogdon. That
Nice.
retirement was a little unexpected. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like that.
Yeah.
I feel like that maybe that competitive fire, that willingness to go through the grind of an NBA regular season kind of left him, which is interesting because he had a real chance to like compete for a title with the Knicks, like you were saying, Kai. But yeah, I mean, great with the Celtics. Obviously, it was only that one season, and injuries kind of played a role later. But I asked Joe about it. I was like, "Oh, what'd you think about Malcolm Brogdon retiring? I know you got to know him," and he spoke very highly of him. And I definitely commend Joe for like keeping a pretty positive relationship with most of his former players, even though he hasn't been the head coach for that long. I think he does a good job of that, and he's definitely like a relationship player-based coach. And I think that
Definitely.
shined through with his answer about a guy he spent a year with, not much more.
Very cool. What about you, Kai?
I'm going to be remembering the summer.
Oh,
It's like saying farewell to summer and getting back on the grind a little bit. But I had a really good summer. Obviously, I got married.
gotta say, yeah, you had a great summer.
Yeah, listen,
Congrats.
summer was great. Thank you, appreciate it. I got married over the summer to the love of my life, and she's just amazing. We went on a trip to Hawaii.
Very cool.
We went on a cruise to the Bahamas, and we also went to Disney World. So it was
Trifecta.
it was an action-packed summer. So I'm gonna miss it a little bit, but I'm also excited to get back to the grind, man. I mean, listen, we all love this game. We all do this for a reason. We're also all very blessed to do what we do. So shout out to the man upstairs, and let's keep it pushing. Let's all have a really good year.
Very cool. Well, with that, I think we'll get out of here. Somehow we managed to talk about basketball for nearly an hour when there's hardly any actual basketball to talk about. Go us. Until next week. Adios.